What's going on, guys? Just wanted to hop on today and talk about the trade that I took this morning on NQ. From the looks of it, everybody on social media and some of the discords that I'm in took this short this morning just because it was so obvious. Really good opportunity for a no news Monday, really clean price action. So I wanted to take the opportunity to walk through what I was looking for this morning, all the way from my trade analysis, my trade thesis, to my trade management, and then just what I was thinking about throughout this trade. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, just how I've been talking, some of the things that I've been talking about in the last couple of videos is I'm always coming into the morning and recognizing where price is trading at in relation to the midnight open, the 7 a.m. open, and 9:30 open. And one of the first things that I look for is once I get to the desk at probably around, or once I start making my plan around 9 o'clock, 9:10 every single morning, I'm recognizing that is price trading below or above the midnight and 8:30 open. So in this case, we are trading above the midnight open and 8:30 open, which is right here. So we're in a rich premium for the day. So that is my first signal for possibly shorting into this no news Monday. Secondly, the one thing that I'm noticing is what did we do from 7 a.m. to around 9 a.m., like right before the market opened, the 9:30 opening bell, is we left relatively equal lows. We have clean lows right here. So we can see once 7 a.m. opens, we come down a little bit, but we don't really take out these lows right here. And we also create some more low resistance liquidity with resting sell side below post 7 a.m. as we just run higher, okay? And we can see that really well on a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart, where we drop down at 7 a.m. and then we leave these clean, relatively equal lows right here. This low was this low that doesn't take out the previous low, and then we have a whole bunch of low resistance liquidity on the way higher, okay? And then the next thing that I'm noticing is we have these fair value gaps, these bearish fair value gaps right over here. We have one right here, okay? And then we have another one that's resting right on top of it. So what I'm expecting is these fair value gaps to get tested before we move lower, okay? So now the next thing that I'm watching for is I want to see a move in the opposing direction of the drawn liquidity at the 9:30 open. So what does that look like for me? Is I want to see a run on buy side first before we have our move lower to sell side. So if I run this back just a little bit, what I'm watching for is we have our relatively equal lows above midnight open into the 15-minute fair value gap. The damage is being done at buy side. Look at all this. Look at how all of this buy side liquidity is becoming jagged. Smooth edges will become jagged. So what I'm recognizing this morning is that price is becoming jagged at buy side and clean at sell side, okay? A lot of people are going to see this as a good place to place their stop losses as price moves higher, but really what we're aiming for is to go and target these relatively equal lows, because we know that there's a lot of resting orders underneath of this sell side liquidity, underneath of these protected lows. So once we have our objective, we're waiting for a move in the opposing direction of the drawn liquidity. So since we're targeting sell side, I want to see a move into buy side one more time before a move into sell side. And that's exactly what we get right here. We get one last manipulation move. It's very small. And there also was a slight SMT here where NQ took out the 929 high, which is still the pre-market high, and then moved lower. We had a run on this fair value gap, this previously bullish fair value gap, and then also a change in the state of delivery to the downside after we closed through the cluster of up close candles right here. Once we close through the up close, the change in the state of delivery and the inversion fair value gap, I took my entry at the close of this inversion fair value gap. So I took my entry right here on this 930 candle, actually, with my stop loss above the 930 high. And then I didn't move my stop loss until I took partials at this original sell side liquidity where these relatively equal lows are. And then I left the rest for the midnight open. I really liked leaving runners for the midnight open just because we were so far above it. We have relatively equal lows that got cleaned out. And then also from last Friday, and then the overnight session, the Sunday open, we left clean lows right here as well. Okay. So we have these clean lows. So I'm expecting this high to be protected after we have this last manipulation leg. So because I'm expecting this to run all the way down to this, at least the midnight open, and then having the ultimate objective of this sell side liquidity down here, what I did was I took off half my position at this sell side liquidity, and then I left the rest for the midnight open and took my position fully off there. One thing that I want to note, a couple things actually, is look how price action is respecting these bearish PD arrays from like working it from underneath. So we have this inversion fair value gap right here. The wicks are testing this inversion fair value gap but closing underneath of it. Again, right here, we have this 1 minute fair value gap. We're working midpoint and below and closing underneath of it, respecting the bullish or the bearish order blocks. We have these two consecutive up close candles right here that are acting as a bearish order block, respecting it from underneath of the midway point. And then ultimately we get to midnight open where I took the rest of my position off. Then we ended up the rest of the day running to that external sell side liquidity, and just look at price action after this. We want no parts of this. We're recognizing where the move is going to happen at in the morning, and once our objective is taken, we're done. I didn't get this full move, but I got about just maybe like a little less than half of it, but I'm okay with that. So what I'm recognizing is every single morning when I'm coming to the desk, because this is a great example for a no news Monday, very clean price action. The one thing that I'm noticing, the major things that I'm noticing in this this price action today is the clean levels, the clean sell side liquidity. We're above midnight open, and we had our manipulation leg higher. What you want to recognize every single day from 7 a.m. to, I call it 9:29, which is something that's been helping me. Where is the damage being done during the pre-market? The damage during the pre-market, which we can see on the 1 minute chart very well if I run this back, it's all being done to buy side. Buy side taken, buy side taken, buy side taken. And when buy side is being taken and buy side is becoming jagged, we're leaving smooth edges below. So we have low here, low here, low here, all of this low resistance liquidity. Because what we're looking for is we're looking for smooth edges to become jagged. And once we recognize where our smooth edges are, we want to wait for the proper manipulation leg in the opposing direction of it before we get our real move towards the draw on liquidity. And that's exactly what we had today. Today was a great example of this. Something that I'm very excited to hammer home going into the new year, and then also just continuing to show examples day after day. This setup happens a lot. I haven't really been even using the daily chart or anything higher than a 15-minute time frame. This has simplified my trading a ton, and I'm just going to continue to keep on doing it and hammering it home. It's been working very well. But overall, this is a great setup today. I hope you guys are trading safely to end the New Year's. And until next time, trade safely, and I'll talk to you guys later.